Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and in this video we will be talking about a game that some people are even considering being Star Citizen Alpha 4.0, or at least the equivalent or something similar on Spectrum, which is the forum dedicated to Star Citizen. This was a thread that appeared a couple of days ago, and quite a lot of reply. As you can see, this is really something that people were talking about, so I decided to have a look. This is SpaceBourne2. It is coming up perhaps next year. There's at least a Kickstarter campaign going on. There's a first Spacebourne that we're going to talk about later as well, and we're going to see what this game is. Is it really going to fulfill people's expectations? Well, let's have a look first at the trailer. Using Unreal 4 engine. Here we have a cockpit view. Here looks like we are having atmospherical flight with rain as well. That is very interesting indeed. Looking very menacing for sure. Look at that. We have cities too. Obviously, this looks like it is being procedurally generated, but nevertheless, well, this is definitely looking very interesting. Now these are massive laser beam here. Space stations in space, obviously, and massive battles here with look at that. Let's have a look again before. Well, large fleets, planets there as well, space planetary battle, and all of that looks like to be in the third-person view. But let me tell you something here. This first game does have first-person view. I wouldn't be surprised if it has also first-person view. But let's keep on watching here. Looks like we'll be able to also land on planets, visit derelicts perhaps, not too far from cities. Looks like there's some kind of nuclear explosion over there with some battle going on in the atmosphere. This is very impressive looking. I like the I like the music too. Looks like also we're having not some kind of EVA, but the character here is falling and is like free falling, but also maneuvering his character. Maybe he's going to get into that wreck. Look at that. We have gravity, different gravity, the ability to use gravity boots. That is very comprehensive indeed. That's the ROP system that is coming up from the first game. Obviously, they're having new ship designs too. This obviously some of the buildings look pretty generic, but why not? Why do all sci-fi buildings need to be looking so futuristic? Why not having a good old rectangle or brick like we're having on Earth right now? I mean, since if this is functional, so I don't really mind the looks of the buildings. The ground combat here looks very rudimentary, to say the least, very basic. Looks like they're having mechanicals or robots as well. That looks also quite badass too. Oh wow, yeah. Asteroid combat. So that is the character customization. In the first Spacebourne, there is no character customization, so that is already something. I mean, there's a lot of different variation possible. You can see look at all these different parameters. Very impressive. Crazy hair. I like the ship here. It almost looks like the ship from Falling Frontier, and I like the different haze. It's pretty much available. It's pretty much visible everywhere. People are saying that, of course, the graphics are not nearly as close as what we're seeing in Star Citizen right now. But if we compare it to what we're seeing in Elite Dangerous, for example, it looks already much more, not much more, but a little more complicated, a little more developed, I would say, because Elite Dangerous, when you're having those kind of battles on planetary, on planet side, sure, when you're on the ground, it looks a little bit better, but it's only tiny atmospheres. It seems like we're having a broader diversity of planets. Looks like, yeah, we can upgrade the ships. Wow, lots of different. I really appreciate also that the menus look much better than in the first Spacebourne. I'll show you the first Spacebourne right after. But this is definitely looking much more on par with some of the standards of today. So good to see that they're improving. That is a lot of customization indeed. So far, it makes me think a little bit of a mix of Freelancer. Yeah, definitely a mix of Freelancer, and I would say maybe there's another game that I tried on the channel a couple of days ago. I forgot, I forgot the name of this game, but it's definitely not going to be competed against the top tier space games of the moment. But by the looks of what we are seeing here, it looks pretty solid. And you know what? The craziest thing is that this was actually made by only a single man. Obviously, he must be having some help. Oh, wow, that is a pretty large map. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. On the planet, the terrain is actually deforming depending on wherever you're going. That's so cool, right? Depending on whether you're going to have snow. I assume it's also going to happen with mud as well. Oh, wow. What is this? Looks like some kind of a lot of tropical planet with very high forests. Very intriguing diversity. Now this is something that I want to talk about here. I'll be totally honest, in the first Spacebourne, the planets, not the planet, but the stations look absolutely crap in the first Spacebourne. It looks like the game was made in the late 1990s, and you're gonna be able to see that right after we dissect this trailer here. This is already looking so much better. That is definitely a huge improvement compared to the first Spacebourne. I want to see the previous shot here, if that's possible. There we go, landing port. So you have all of these different indications that tell you where to go, which is again another improvement, because in the first Spacebourne, when we are in stations, I really have no idea where to go. So having those cues here indicating where the locations that you want to go are is really going to be helping a lot. Yeah, the map looks like it's going to include, this is just one star system. It's going to have a lot of different star systems, just like the first Spacebourne, by the way. So they are going to be keeping the same mechanism. Yeah, again, this is where you see that it doesn't look like on par with what Star Citizen is offering right now, but I think that it's definitely going to be able to compete against a game like Elite Dangerous, which hasn't evolved almost at all since it was released in 2014. So yeah, if I were at Frontier, I'd be looking at what this guy here is doing with SpaceBourne2, and I'll be afraid that people are going to be perhaps leaving the game to be playing this single-player game. Anyway, people play Elite Dangerous in single-player mode, safe mode anyway, so it's not going to be changing anything. Of course, aliens are going to be in the universe in there, just like in the first Spacebourne. Oh, that was pretty cool. Yeah, so there you go. You see, some people were complaining, "Oh, I don't really like that they have the health bar or these numbers here." So the game includes some elements of roleplay as well. So it's not like in Star Citizen where you don't really level up; you become better because your skills improve. In Spacebourne, you become more powerful as you grow, as you play the game. It's a little bit like in Freelancer, right, where you start at level 1 and you end up all the way until level 50 or whatever, and then your enemies also get stronger. You can take out stronger enemies. It's pretty much the same here. So that's going to be that system, something that you'll have to expect if you play the game. Could also be explaining why we have the health bars too. Oh, that's an interesting, I like the ship design here. I have no idea what these things are on the side, but I've never seen that before, and that's pretty cool. Is it going to go in wrap? Yes. There we go, Spacebourne2. I'm going to show you how the first game looks, so that you can have an idea of what kind of game it is and what we could be expecting from that second game based on the improvements that we are seeing in the trailer, which I think, based on what I've seen of the first game, look very promising. So let's talk about it right now. So here we are in Spacebourne. This is the first game. I got it on Steam. There was an 85% discount. I got it for the equivalent of $1.50, so a really bargain, almost for free. So kind of okay to pay $1.50 for a game that, you know, looks this dated. The flight experience kind of make me look of Freelancer. It supports controllers, but I'm playing with mouse and keyboard, and the controls are pretty much the same as any other space game. Very standard there, nothing to be reported, nothing special to be reporting. But in terms of gameplay, there's a lot of point and click. It's not really something like landing inside the station. You just click on the button once you get closer to the station, and you get a little animation that shows your ship going inside. So that's something that you have to figure out here. But it looks like, however, you will have to land on the pads in the second game, so that's also going to be an improvement there. So looking very basic, but you do have all sorts of different missions, escorting, combat, reconnaissance, you have also trade as well. So all of these aspects of space games are already in there. That's what I said. My biggest concerns are with this game, how the station looks. They look very dated. The way your character moves in first person or third person, the mouse is oversensitive. There is no way to fix that, unfortunately. But again, I think that the first game was the proof of concept for the solo developer. Again, it is a solo developer, and that he's going to use the coding that is done for the first game, but put it in the second game with much better graphical details, much better fidelity, and I think that we are in for a pretty solid experience. I'm already having fun with the first game, despite its limitation and despite how ugly it looks. It's actually a pretty decent shooter. If it had been released 10 years ago, it would have been pretty cool. So I see a lot of potential there, and I'm pretty sure that the SpaceBourne2 is going to be something to be looking forward to in 2022. They have a Kickstarter page up and running. There you have it. You can have a look there. They're not looking for much money, in the $20,000 each, so it's probably to pay some. Outsourcing artists. I would be expecting that, you know, maybe some people to create new models or to help him with the coding or the Q&A. So that's totally fine. It seems quite reasonable, and I think that if more people talk about this game, then it looks like it's going to be quite successful for what it is. So really looking forward to, and I suggest maybe you guys check it out on Steam. It's definitely in my wish list. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys. What do you guys think? Obviously, it's not Star Citizen 4.0 as some people are saying on Spectrum, but still quite impressive for the work of a solo developer. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about it. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. It's the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. A huge shout out to everyone who's been helping me out on Patreon and via the YouTube Joint membership program. Creating content on YouTube involves continuous circles of ups and downs, and it is when we are the lower parts of the curve that your help really motivates me to keep on going. Your contribution really does make a difference, which is why in return I try to give back by offering backers access to my private Discord channel, automatic access to exclusive giveaways, or answering your questions during the show. You can help me out with as little as $1 a month, and any help is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching again. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.